Hello and welcome to Kindergarten Advisory Support Service. Congratulations on deciding to apply for kindergarten funding and to become an approved kindergarten program provider. This presentation gives you the information you need to know about applying for approval and funding as a kindergarten program provider in a long day care service. The first things you need to consider is, does your service enrol kindergarten age children? We've provided a table here which shows you the years that the children are born and the years that they are eligible to attend a kindergarten program. The children have to turn 4 on or before the 30th of June in the year that they're eligible to participate in the kindergarten program. So in other words, the year prior to attending prep. Do you hold a current service approval to operate as a long day care service? Do you receive childcare benefit on behalf of eligible families? And do you hold public liability insurance of at least $10 million? If you answered yes to all of the above, then you may proceed with the application. So the first process is applying for funding is to visit the website at the link we've shown you there, and you can gather some more information about the Queensland Kindergarten Funding Scheme. Then you'll need to download an application package, and we've provided you with the link, and this is the page that link will bring you to. And as you can see, you can download Word or PDF documents of the application form, the application guide, an information paper for long day care services, funding scheme policy, funding scheme guidelines. Those are the documents that you will need to complete and read in applying for kindergarten funding. In the application guide, it gives you information about how to complete the application form. It's a very useful tool for understanding the requirements and the documentation that you need to provide. The funding scheme guidelines give you guidance in information that you need to follow as an approved kindergarten program provider. So once you've lodged your application form, it goes in for assessment. You'll know your application is being assessed. The department will acknowledge that they have received your application. The process of assessment requires the department to make sure that your application is complete. So in other words, you have provided all the documentary evidence necessary. If you don't provide all that evidence in your original application, the department may request further information from you. They won't progress your application until they receive all the information required. So it's important to promptly reply to any emails you receive requiring this further information. The other things that happen with your application during assessment is that they check with DEWA for your childcare benefit information, and they check with your local Office for Early Childhood for your licensing information. When they have all that information, they can then progress your application to the next stage. This process of assessment, if they don't require any further information, can take up to a month. So what is approval, and how will you know if your application is approved? So approval checks that you have met all the eligibility requirements and your application is recommended for approval. If your original application you have provided information of a teacher that you've engaged at your service, then your application will move on to the next stage. If you have not yet employed a suitably qualified teacher, your application may be provisionally approved pending recruitment of a teacher. So congratulations, your application has been successful and it has been approved. So then what happens? Well, an agreement is drawn up between yourself and the department, and it's like the contract that you sign and the department signs to say that they will pay you funding for your kindy program and that you agreed to abide by all the terms and conditions of the guidelines. When you receive that agreement, you need to look through it, read through it carefully. If all the information is correct and you're agreeable, you need to sign the agreement. You send the agreement back to the department co-sign the agreement, and then it's finalised, and you will receive a congratulations letter, your certificate to operate as an approved kindergarten program provider, a hard copy of the Kindergarten Learning Guideline, plus other promotional materials that you can use in your service to promote your kindergarten program, including a CD identifier disc that has the Kindy tick, which you can use to make up the signage appropriate for your service. So what happens if you have any changes to your structuring or anything to do with your kindergarten program? You must notify the department within 14 days of any changes that might affect your delivery of the kindergarten program. So when will my funding commence? Your funding commences from the date that your agreement states. The department will know what funding you're eligible to receive because you report at the end of each quarter as to how much and what activity you've had in your kindergarten program, and then they process that information, and you can expect to receive payments after you have submitted your information about the operation of your kindergarten program at the end of each quarter. So you're paid in arrears at the end of each quarter. The funds are directly transferred into the nominated bank account that was in your original application. At the end of the year, in the December quarter, the information that you provide to the department will be a summary of what's happened for the whole year so that they can reconcile your payment so that services are not overpaid, and you make sure that you receive all the payments that you're entitled to for the year. Any delays in providing data to the department will delay your funding being processed and hence receiving your funding. Just a note that the department is currently processing to an online system for payment of all grants and funding to services. They hope to have that operating in the near future. You will be notified with information on how to access the grants management system online. If you have not received information regarding this, please contact the department or Kindergarten Advisory Support Service. Thank you for listening.